And now, live from Palm Springs, California, your host, Leo Zagami.
Welcome to another special episode of the Leo Zagami Show, a very special one indeed, as we have a bunch of news that I wanted to bring to you immediately, and I couldn't wait a day. Because I wanted to bring you all the latest on two fronts. One is the Vatican, the other one is Norway, connected to Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates. So let's start from, of course, the Vatican and the signing of this Encyclical, which we've been talking about, which is another milestone for the one world religion of Pope Francis. Well, this milestone hides a very dark secret, and today we're going to be talking about it, and I'm going to show you the reason why I'm saying dark secret. Welcome everybody, this is the Leo Zagami Show. For this special episode, we're going to be talking, of course, first of all, of the name of this imam, this teacher of the Islamic world, which of course is very well known, but it's also very well known for being a radical Muslim. I'm talking about Sheikh, the Sheikh of the prestigious University of Al-Azhar, Ahmad Al-Tayeb. Let me show you, the fact is that Pope Francis has mentioned the name of this guy 5 times. And this guy is a criminal. He's a radical Muslim who says terrible things. And I'm going to show them to you now with subtitles in the English language. You will be able to see the terrible things that this person, who has been cited 5 times in Pope Francis Encyclical, an encyclical which, of course, puts into discussion private property, is almost on the verge of being a communist manifesto. But the fact that he also mentions 5 times this radical Muslim thinker makes you really understand what kind of diabolic compromise the Pope is making to establish his one-world religion. So as you can see, he's against, of course, homosexual, sexual liberty, all that. But the most important thing for him is also the protection of Islam. And what he's about to say is incredible, because he's justifying the assassination, the murder of those who leave Islam. Check out what he's saying. As I said, if an apostate has left Islam out of hatred and blah, 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 this is considered high treason. And this is, you are hearing the most important scholar in the Sunni side of Islam. And this guy has been mentioned 5 times in Pope Francis Encyclical. And what he's about to say is astonishing. What is the punishment for an apostate? And he says it after, of course, considering the 4 schools of Islam, blah, blah, blah. All the jurisprudence of Islam agree. A very few dissent. And what is the verdict? The verdict is for this criminal that an apostate should be asked to repent, and that if he does not, he should be killed. Guys, this is the person that Pope Francis has been citing more in his new encyclical. Is shocking, because the ideas he's promoting are definitely fundamentalist. There is no moderate Islam. And what Pope Francis is doing by merging with Sunni Islam is just out of necessity, because he is running towards the establishment of a one-world religion. But you see, he is saying if a Muslim abandons his religion and leaves his community, he can be killed. And this guy, I'm going to show you now this guy, together with, of course, Pope Francis that he has hugged and kissed in this famous image that I'm about to show you. And next to this image is an image that reminds us of the real identity of Islam. Here is somebody who is being beheaded for having left Islam. Beheaded. And there is also other scenes that remind us of what happens in the Middle East if you leave Islam. Check this out. They are hanging upside down. And this is, of course, what the Pope wants to do. He wants to deny the superiority of Christianity in front of this barbarian religion, and at the same time he's accepting a compromise with the devil himself to establish his one world religion. But we have a lot of news today, so I'm not going to stop to that. But remember, what we have seen is an historical signing of a document that will be used for the establishment of the one world religion. This is the moment in which, of course, the Vatican portrays it as a fabulous moment in this Franciscan monastery, in this important day for Christianity. On the 3rd of October, he signed off the soul of the Catholic Church, and this is what happened. This is what happened because in that document there is the name of Freemasons, Desmond Tutu, Martin Luther King, and Gandhi. And on top of that, the signing of this document implies also he is supporting somebody who is mentioned 5 times, and that somebody, you have seen him now saying that he will kill those who leave Islam. So what is this interreligious dialogue? He has hijacked the figure of St. Francis, saying that he's doing what St. Francis was doing when St. Francis was actually, like we said yesterday, was trying to convince the Sultan to convert to Christianity. And now we are also sold another lie with this new encyclical. We're sold another lie because the establishment of this one world religion is full of lies. You remember this very famous whistleblower, Dr. Li Meng. I'm going to show you just some images of her. You have seen her also on many newspapers, on Fox News, of course. Now, unfortunately, we have to report that the mother of Dr. Li Mengyan has been arrested in China. And this is unfortunate because she will not be able to save the mother if she doesn't give herself up to the Chinese Communist Party, and that will mean for her almost certain death after she exposed the fact that the coronavirus, COVID-19, the CCCP virus, the infamous Chinese virus, comes out of a lab. So I'm very sad to report that this has happened. And now let's go into something else. The other news of the day, which we are bringing you in exclusive here on the Leo Zagami show, regards Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein. These people were connected with an important Norwegian figure, somebody who has been into Norwegian politics for many years, and he has also established himself with this International Peace Institute. This guy basically guested in his lavish house when he was at the time responsible for a important European institution within the European Union, even if he's Norwegian. The guy is called, he's also a former Nobel Committee chair, is called Torbjørn Jagland. And this news comes directly from one of the most prestigious Norwegian magazines. and so it's not fake news, and it's very credible news that you should look into. So here we are. Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein meet with Nobel Committee chair. It's quite incredible that these people still deny the relation to Jeffrey Epstein when it's so evident. But basically, this meeting had to do with his position as Secretary General of the Council of Europe. At the time, Jagland was the Secretary General of the Council of Europe. He had a lavish building. He could guest many delegations, and the delegation in question was basically headed by Bill Gates and his pal Jeffrey Epstein. And they were discussing vaccines, of course, vaccines for polio in Africa and many other things. How comes a convicted sex offender like Jeffrey Epstein was present in Strasbourg where this meeting took place? The newspaper is asking questions also to the big guys and is trying to expose the wrongdoings of this Norwegian politician. The newspaper in question, the Norwegian Business Daily, has spoken to a number of sources familiar with the meeting in Strasbourg and has reviewed documentation that ties Epstein to the meeting in question. According to the sources, Gates and his assistants were already present when the representatives of this International Peace Institute arrived. Now, this institute later on will be financed with a grant by Bill Gates and the Gates Foundation, a grant of $2.5 million. Since then, an additional $6 million has followed, according to the foundation, that says, however, at the time they still didn't receive any grants. But of course, after Bill Gates arrived with Jeffrey Epstein and the whole show, we have, of course, now a different picture of the events. So we need to understand more what happened, because what is the involvement of this prestigious Norwegian politician, which you can see now here in the pic, this prestigious politician who has always had important roles diplomatically and in the business world, but especially regarding the human rights in Europe. So this guy, remember that Jeffrey Epstein had been already condemned by then. So in 2013, you couldn't say Jeffrey Epstein was not a pedophile because he had already been condemned. However, this guy who now, for example, in this pic is portrayed giving a speech on human rights in Europe. These people, you see, they put themselves on a pedestal. Let's not forget that Ghislaine Maxwell was talking at the United Nations. She was guested at the United Nations. Let's not forget that. Let me show the video in case you have you forgot about it, because it's incredible that these institutions have literally been corrupted and they are still regarded as credible. How can they be regarded as credible? Watch how they introduce Ghislaine Maxwell at the United Nations.
Really has something called Terramar Project. She controls the oceans around the world. If you were to look at the
she
website,
controls the oceans around the world, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Sponsored the ocean through her. And really the Sustainable Oceans Alliance came together at the insistence of one person who was in the room. I don't know how to look for him. His name is Stephen Haft. Where's Stephen?
So,
Stephen, please get up.
So this
Stephen has
is
been the passionate person
the United Nations headquarters. Watch. And they are about to introduce, and they are already introducing, a criminal that is now in jail called Ghislaine Maxwell.
We are very grateful to Stephen for his support. And therefore, I invite my dear friend, Ghislaine Maxwell,
My
to tell
dear
us how we
friend.
can own the oceans.
Oh, Ghislaine
You
Maxwell.
have 3 seconds.
Tell us about. And they all laugh. And this is the United Nations headquarters. Watch.
I'll do my best.
I'll do my
First
best.
of all, Your Excellencies, Presidents, Lords, ladies and gentlemen, I just would like to thank you so much, and it's such an honor to be here.
Yes, yes. Oh,
I'm here representing civil society.
She's here representing civil society. Look at that, watch my face, civil society. Sorry, civil society. She's representing civil society. Okay, guys, that's it. I had enough for today. I think we can close the transmission. I think that really it's totally out of order. But I mean, whatever. She wants to expose Bill Clinton. Let's hope she makes it till next year. I have the idea that if Joe Biden gets elected, probably Ghislaine Maxwell would be killed soon after. I have the feeling, you know. However, let's go back to this meeting with Jeffrey Epstein described by the Norwegian newspaper. Meeting that saw Bill Gates and Epstein arriving together. Look, they arrived together like friends. Bill Gates, the guy who is going on TV every day telling you have to wear masks and that he's the only solution to the world with his vaccine program, he used to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein. And then the guy says, I made an introduction on the European system for controlling medicines. Controlling. Ghislaine Maxwell was controlling the oceans. Her pal Jeffrey was controlling the medicines and the future of this eugenic program that he was working secretly with the New World Order, where he wanted to produce a new race of Epsteins. He wanted to seed the world. That was his idea. Let's not forget that. Okay, so it's pretty shocking that in Europe, a serious institution was serious. I mean, whatever. The Council of Europe seems to be a bunch of jokers. But what are they saying here makes you understand that this bunch of jokers was basically connected. The same people that now are imposing the sanitary dictatorship in Europe are the people who are linked to Jeffrey Epstein and pedophilia and pedophile rings and Lolitas and Lolita Island. It says here on the Norwegian magazine in question, Bill Gates asked for a meeting as he visited Strasbourg. Okay, he was interested in the Council of Europe's work for safeguard medicines for everyone. The Council of Europe carries a very important international convention on this issue, and counterfeit medicines are a big problem. Jagland writes. Yeah, so he had to bring Jeffrey Epstein with him. So what is Jeffrey Epstein to do with all this? And of course, here they said at the time IP didn't have a relationship with Gates. The first grant came a few months later in October 2013, after the sudden visit by Gates and Jeffrey Epstein. The organization in question, which is based in New York, and I want to show you the organization in question because it's a think tank used by the libtards very much, that we should denounce here publicly. Here we go. You see the website of it? This is the International Peace Institute since 1970, 50 years, learning uninterrupted education, COVID-19, and the culture of peace. This is all hypocrisy. The symbols, of course, of the United Nations are in there, the symbol of the Rotary Club that you can recognize because this is the symbol of the Rotary Club. So this is a Masonic project. And of course, you have links to the UN peacekeeping in time of COVID-19. So what is UN peacekeeping in time of COVID-19? Some kind of foreign land occupation? Well, let me tell you that today at the Leo Zagami Show, we have unveiled more about this Vatican-led New World Order because as I showed in my book, can you please pick up the volume 4 up there? And let me show you in the meantime where and how you can help us out. You can do it through donations. And those donations can be made at Foundly or can be made at Patreon. Or you can also use for a limited time my wife's PayPal address. I've hijacked my wife's PayPal address. And this is my wife's PayPal address /Christy Zagami. This is the book that I advise you to buy, volume 4 in particular, regarding what is happening with Bill Gates, the Vatican, and regarding COVID-19. I have also the other book. There is also another book, but that is volume 5, the new edition. You can find all the links to all these books in the description of this video on the various channels where we are broadcasting. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we will bring you more news in the coming days. I have also an announcement to make. I will be returning on InfoWars on Thursday at 4 p.m. CST for the War Room. Take care, and God bless America and the rest of the world if they don't act as socialists, because socialism is contrary to God. It's the antithesis of God. So wherever you have socialism and communism, you can't have God. That's unfortunately the truth, but that's how it is. And regarding what I've showed you today, the link with Ghislaine Maxwell and the UN was already known, but this new link makes it even more clear that the UN, their General Assembly, and everything they represent is not only contrary to the sovereignty of your country, and the United States in particular, but is also linked to ethically and really despicable things like Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile rings. It's sad to see how people like George Pell are back in the Vatican, how Prince Andrew is hiding behind his mother's gown to try to protect, because Prince Andrew thinks the Queen can protect him. So that's it, we can't touch Prince Andrew, even if Prince Andrew could actually tell us some very important things. And in the meantime, we have to suffer with Meghan Markle, Melaki, whatever she is, and Prince Harry, who, of course, has been also stripped of his military title of captain. Yes, he's no longer a captain. So poor old Prince Harry, you should have maybe think a little bit more before criticizing and entering the political scene with your support, your endorsement for Joe Biden, which is, of course, not accepted by the rest of the royal family. The Queen seems to actually like more and more our president, Donald J. Trump, the man who finally has taken off the this mask in front of the world and has said things as they are. He has said to the people, don't be scared of COVID-19. You can't live your life and change your life because of something like this. And I think this is really a great message. And he has done it also on Twitter. And I have seen that Twitter has kind of put a notice on his post. They really don't like him at Twitter. They don't like the president of the United States. I hope that when President Trump gets reelected, he will start changing things in Silicon Valley, because it's absolutely insane that they can do this kind of thing. Let me show you again the tweet in question by the Commander-in-Chief, President Donald J. Trump. Flu season is coming up. Many people every year, sometimes over 100,000, and despite the vaccine, die from the flu. Are we going to close down our country? No, we have learned to live with it, just like we are learning to live with COVID. In most populations, far less lethal. Now, for this tweet, Trump received, as you can see above, a notification by Twitter that says this tweet violated the Twitter rules about spreading misleading and potentially harmful information related to COVID-19. Jeez, guys, these people don't give up. They don't give up. So there is here, we are in front of a dilemma, no? You can either follow the COVID party that would like you to live the rest of your life locked in your home, with drones delivering your food, probably in some kind of virtual reality cage, masturbated with some kind of plastic doll or some screwed up shit that is very libtarded, of course, because the libtards really like some screwed up, fucked up shit, and because they are sick in their head. I mean, of course, they're sick in their mind. Or you can take off this mask, learn to live your life again, and risk. Of course, there is a risk. Trump is an essential worker. He's the president of the United States. He was going around the country knowing that he was taking that risk, and he took it. It's not like Biden, who is like talking inside his basement with the mask in front of his daughter's wife, whatever. So we have prayed for Donald J. Trump, and he has come out of this whole thing as a winner. Now let's continue praying for him and for his victory. God bless the United States of America, the #1 country in the world.